Oh, this is a lot.
Woo! Look at that, he did
I
it!
thought it was going to be higher. I pulled my hamstring. Do we have a clicker? I did this last year too. Is there a clicker somewhere? It's okay. Yeah, it's a scavenger. I need a signature for the clicker. I'm fairly blind, it's okay. Oh, you had it the whole time?
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Okay, let's see if this mic will do anything weird. Yeah, I threw out my hamstring already. Can I get everyone to just stand up? Stand up, stand up. If you can stand. One time I said that and someone was in a wheelchair and I felt terrible. Like, what are you doing, Pam? Get up. Terrible. I love conferences. I've been going to conferences for so many years, and I just want everyone to, first of all, clap for Jessica Phillips and Now Marketing Group. So much. I kind of want to get into doing events, but there's so many headaches, and I see them not pull their hair, but like do so much effort, and it's crazy. You don't see the behind the scenes of random stuff that happens, but also you're all here investing in yourself, investing in your business, investing in learning. I really believe if you're not really learning, you're not growing, you're kind of dying, and your business probably isn't doing too well. So everyone, make a ton of noise for yourself, please. Clap, clap, clap. Okay, I know everyone just had lunch. They're probably pretty low energy, so I'm going to actually run, and I'll be out of breath for my first thing I start saying. Actually, let's just do like a wave, maybe. So throw your hands up over here when I run, and I'm going to be out of breath, and then if someone has an inhaler, just throw it on the stage later. So here we go. Make way more noise than we did earlier. I know lunch just happened, but we're trying to wake everyone up. Here we go. I'm over here. I'll raise my hands. Just follow me. Social Media Week Live. I'll make some noise. Woo! Can I borrow your chair? I'm sorry. No, okay. All right, we're going up here now. I'm sorry. That's it. That's my only prop. I think I threw my back out. All right. We're up here. We're up here. All right. Thank you, everyone. You can have a seat. I feel like I'm in a court. I did have jury duty that I got out of for being here, so shout out to the Arizona court system. All right, let's get into like what I should actually talk about now. I recently was blessed to move into this beautiful looking building. It's kind of my new dream apartment I moved into in Scottsdale. It's hot there too. That's why I breathe like that when I'm in Scottsdale. But one of the things, I'm an advertiser. I'm a big nerd with ads. I'm the guy that like if there's like a paid version and you can do the free version and you can see the ads, I'm kind of like, I want to see the ads. I'll do the free version. Like I'm weird and pretty nerdy. And when I move, I always forward my mail to make sure I get all my packages and everything, forwarded. And one of the things I really look forward to is they give you like, if you sell all your data, if I click, hopefully I know how to use this, there we go. They'll send you and forward you like a bunch of like deals and offers and stuff that's really awesome. This is a pack called Val Pack, and basically I moved to Scottsdale from the middle of nowhere on the west side of Arizona. I moved down there 4 years ago. And sorry I'm breathing so heavy into the mic, everyone, but the wave was incredible. I thought so. My point of view is pretty cool. But anyway, usually I'm pumped. I'm like, cool, Scottsdale, move in there. Give me all the coupons. I want to check out everything. I used to work at Yelp. Yelp is around here. Love them. Shout out Yelp. And they always give you these coupons, tons of restaurants, fun activities to do and things. And I moved into this apartment. My address says APT for apartment. And all these businesses spent all this money for this placement to people in apartments. And we have AC services, we have roofing services for homes, and we have window washing. And this was like 70% of the ads in this Valpak book that I got in my apartment. And I'm like, this is really disappointing. So what we're going to talk about today is the art of ad placement and how you can really leverage platforms in different ways based on your business, based on your product, and based on your service. And you're not doing what these sad businesses did with Valpak. So a little bit about myself. I'm Tony Christensen. I go by Tony Does Ads. I love that we had Ohio needs jobs right before Ohio needs jobs. Tony Does Ads. It was kind of a Cool. We didn't plan that. Jessica probably did. She's amazing with all the planning. We've been over that. But yeah, I've been doing advertising probably for 8-ish years now, quite a bit of time. Have attributed over $300 million in revenue with ads on various platforms out there, Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of the things. I'm a co-founder of an advertising agency called Brick Social. I used to work at Now Marketing, and I attribute my attention to detail, customer success, and all of the care that we give customers to Jessica and Now Marketing Group. They're just incredible with what they built. I'm an ad nerd, as Chad said. I'm a very big nerd. My business partner often tells me I'm waffling too much about details on ads, but I just love talking about them. Shout out to AJ, who does a lot of LinkedIn ads. We were in the back nerding out earlier. And I'm a proud dog dad. That's my guy there, Sir Charles Barkley. He's very bougie. It's hot in Arizona, so he's got a little cart, a G-Wagon, we'll call it, with a fan. I've added a mister now, and next is coming a boom box and maybe some LEDs. And here's some of the companies I've worked for. Black Rifle Copy Company, you might have heard of. Moto 360, selling smartwatches. Shitty Coolers, it's a real name of a company. It's an interesting product to try to push when it's called shitty. It's a fun one. And Modern Sprout. So getting into advertising, I want to talk about Eugene M. Schwartz. He wrote this book called Breakthrough Advertising in 1966. Again, I'm a nerd. I'll go back and look at like all the sketchy cigarette ads that doctors are like, we recommend this. You're like, what happened here? Love that kind of stuff. But this book was written around then. He was one of the top direct response copywriters. And I want you to think before we go into these marketing levels of awareness he talked about where does your product or service fall when it comes to these levels of awareness. So first up is unaware. So at the top there, this basically means people are not aware that they even have a problem. There's a really good ad by a company called Dr. Squatch, and at the very start, these ads are great to be like more visual. So the very start of the video, the guy basically says, listen, your current soap sucks, and here's why. And this is a problem that a lot of men probably didn't even know, and he went on to riff and be like, you're just using the same soap your mom bought you, and like did all this really funny stuff, and it was a brilliant ad. And this is unaware. Basically, you're marketing to people that don't even know that they have a problem, so then you're bringing it up to them and making them aware of it. It's an interesting place to be. A lot of newer businesses, new innovations, people might not even know they have a problem, and now they're aware of them when you raise them up with some ads. Then we have problem aware. These are problems that we'll get into that people are aware of, but they might not know that a solution even exists, or there's products out there that solve that problem. And then there's solution aware. This is where you're obviously aware of this. It's very straightforward, solution aware. You're aware of the solution. You might not be specifically aware about a specific brand or product, though. So in the example of shitty coolers, people know coolers exist. They might not know shitty coolers exist, believe it or not. They're pretty good, though, guys. And then product aware, this means they're aware of your product, they're aware of your services, but they might not be like convinced that you're the right one. They might be weighing their options a bit more. And then most aware, meaning they're very aware of you. I'm very aware of like Now Marketing Group. I Google Now Marketing Group because I want to work with them. Boom, it shows up on Google. We run with it. That's most aware. So there's the areas there. Definitely look at this and think about if you have a product, where is that? Where do people view your product there? And over time, it kind of goes down more and more and more with new products and things like that. When we're looking at like problem aware, it might be something like, I hate vacuuming. And all of a sudden, robot vacuums exist, and we're pushing those out, right? And they might not have known that that existed. Now you kind of know robot vacuums exist, so it slowly moved down, and now we're like solution aware. You might be weighing out the options of these different robot vacuums. A random brand pops up, and now you might be more aware of it and weighing your options, and you're kind of going to product aware there. So you slowly kind of work your way down. A lot of times at the top with unaware, you're grabbing attention. You really want to be like straightforward. You really want to raise that problem that people have because they might not even know they have it. So how can we show that visually? How can we amplify that as much as possible? So these are the 4 platforms we're going to talk about today. I grouped some together. You can see at the top, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. We just grouped those together because we run ads on both kind of simultaneously. LinkedIn, and then Google and YouTube. And we'll go into all the nuances of these different platforms and what I'd recommend for different people based on different use cases. You'll get the slides at the end. I have a QR code, so don't worry if you miss anything. Also, I'll be around here all day and probably way too late into the early evening and might miss my flight tomorrow, but I'm here for ads, so if you guys have any questions at 2 a.m., just feel free to find me. I'll be around town. I thought about jumping on tables. I was like, I don't know what the liability insurance is in this place. But so 5 factors to consider when it comes to ad platforms. One is creative needs. I really like to work with brands and think about like, what is their creative capacity? Can they make good videos? Can they make good images? What do the platforms need for these brands in different ways? So that's definitely a factor you want to think about. Cost, obviously, if you don't have as much money, you might want to do a different platform versus another one. Targeting and size is a huge one. Depending on your business, you can target people great or bad based on the ad platform, and we'll get into the nuances of that. And then user behavior. How do people actually act on the platform? This is really good to think about, especially when it comes to making content. How do we show up there, feel organic, feel real, and grab attention? And last, attribution we'll touch on. This basically means just tracking the data. Is it clear? Is it hazy? What's the behavior like? That can kind of fuel that attribution, which can help or hurt you making good business decisions. So first, we'll go into TikTok. This is a video. I don't know if people have seen this. It's one of like the most liked videos. It's just a guy like dancing on camera on like chocolate-covered strawberries that look really good. I can't see the number, but it's like 70 million plus likes on that video. It's like just went insanely viral. This is overall the nature of TikTok. You have to. This video is an exception. I wouldn't say this is a great video. It was a good song. He bounced it really nicely to the beat, but not like the craziest example of like a great TikTok video there. But this is the nature of TikTok in general. Stuff tends to go viral. When it does hit, it does have to be really good to go viral. But when it does hit, it just gets pumped out to the masses, and you can get just insane organic reach. I hate to say it, though. Most of you guys, I would say you probably shouldn't even be considering TikTok ads, and we'll get into why that is here. Creative needs on TikTok are very high. I got invited gracefully to go to TikTok's office in Austin, Texas, and I was running ads there, and we noticed like the ads they'd pretty much die with performance within a day to max like a week, whereas platforms like Google, you can get stuff working and like we can crank it and keep running it for like a year. Facebook, we can get stuff going. Like I have stuff from like 6 months ago I wrote that's still performing really well for Facebook. Basically the TikTok, I sat down with the developer and I was like, so you guys gonna fix this? Like, are you gonna make our ads last a bit longer? And his response was just like, nope, like we don't really care about advertisers is sort of what he said nonchalantly. It was basically, and I like the thought, it's basically like we value the users and their experience and their opinion on the platform, so we don't wanna change things and force more ads and things like that, which is why TikTok has grown as much as it has. But for most businesses, this means like a lot of friction, a lot of issues that you can have, because again, you need like really good quality creative, and then it's gonna die in a week or so, so then you need another good quality of creative in another week. Cost on TikTok is cheaper. We can get into like the nuances of cost. I am probably way behind on time from the run, but cost on TikTok is cheap, but conversion rate and user behavior is different. I'm gonna click ahead quite a bit here, because again, I don't recommend TikTok for a lot of people. The user behavior is entertainment. You're there, you're wasting 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you're on the bus, you're on the elevator. You're usually not really there shopping and in that market to shop. So you might see people like screenshot, they might later Google search something. So when it comes to like attribution, it's actually pretty complex. We work with post-purchase survey tools that then can like, people will write how they found the company and why they bought. And we might see TikTok, we might see, a weird one I saw was like, my friend saw your ad, they screenshotted it to me, they texted it to me, and then I Google searched it and I bought. And like an ad tool, TikTok, no other tool that we use will be able to pick up that kind of thing. So TikTok's really tricky. So again, I wouldn't recommend it for the majority of you. Use case though, very specific here. You make incredible videos like I talked about. You need incredible videos weekly on TikTok. You're scaling spend elsewhere. Most of my clients that we get into TikTok, we're spending like a ton of money. Like I'm talking 500,000, 1 million plus a month on other platforms. They're working, it's cracked, they're making money, and we just need more people in the funnel. So we're trying to use these other like discretionary platforms at a fairly small budget, 2 to 5% of their overall budget on TikTok. And yeah, you want to test some spend there. Basically look at it like you're throwing money away. You kind of are, again, because the attribution's picky. So I think the takeaway is just look at these other platforms instead of TikTok. This is a use case. We had a client, that same Shitty Coolers brand here. They have a bucket insert for 5-gallon buckets. It turns that into a cooler, which is really cool. We tried it on Facebook. It did okay. And then we put it on TikTok just organically, and it took off. It got over 1 million views pretty quickly. I think now it's at like 2 million views. We were able to basically download that video, publish it to Facebook actually, and we sold out of all their products from Facebook ads, but we used TikTok as a really just good organic place to post and just basically do free ad testing for us. What hits, what works, and let's download that video, upload it to Facebook, and push it there where things are a little bit better and a little bit easier for us. Facebook, when you post something amazing on Instagram and don't get any likes, why though? Like Facebook is a very visual platform, obviously. People are there, they're catching up with friends and whatnot. I give Facebook a big thumbs up. I'm way more deeper into the e-commerce sphere. I would say 60 to 70, oh, that did something weird. I must have probably clicked, we'll click faster. 60 to 75% or so of the, damn it, spend overall is in TikTok. Not sure what happened there, it's okay. Oh, we're at the end. All good. I have paper, I'm old school, so this is great. Awesome, thank you. Shout out to the tech team, everybody. They're like, don't run. I'm like, I'm gonna run. I can, get it from here, thank you. Cool, so for Facebook and Instagram, again, I'm just gonna clump those together. The creative needs are medium. You kind of need to be able to make images and video, but it doesn't need to necessarily be weekly. When you're really scaling, maybe. But you can get like pretty basic stuff that you make in Canva and whatnot that like can perform really well on these platforms, which is awesome. Cost overall, I'll say medium. It's cheaper than some of the other platforms we'll get into. But what's great about Facebook and Instagram is there's just a huge audience overall there. Targeting's fairly good, which is awesome. People are there for entertainment, shopping, catching up with friends and family. And a lot of the shopping behavior is kind of on Facebook and Instagram. People are used to shopping there, which is really nice. And the attribution's better overall, a lot better than like a TikTok. It can be fairly clear, fairly straightforward there, which is awesome. So a use case and why you might want to use Facebook and Instagram, you can make good images or videos. I didn't even say great. Like you can get away with like pretty decent stuff that doesn't have to be incredible, again, like TikTok. You can show your product or service. You just have to think, how can I amplify it visually? If it's a product, if it's a service, can we show like a before and after of us like cleaning a roof or a window or something like that? If it's a product, can you show the before and after use case there? Or the pain, like I have neck pain, so I need this pillow. Can you amplify that visually? And another interesting case for Facebook and Instagram is some products like people just aren't searching. They're maybe more unaware. We want to push out visually like, hey, you have this problem that you don't even know about. So Facebook and Instagram can be really good for that. I blame me. I think I clicked something. There's a lot of buttons on this. This is a fancy one. This is a use case. This is a product. Basically, it's surround sound that's visual. It's lighting surround sound. No one's Google searching this. I did a lot of research there for this brand. They're called Audio Radar. So we can increase like gamers like playability on Call of Duty and all sorts of things, because basically if someone's shooting at you from behind you to the right, the lower right side lights up by your TV. So you can quickly see and react, and even with your headphones, it just amplifies how you play. But also the deaf community, the hard of hearing community can really leverage this and run with it, which is really cool. Again, people were unaware that this even existed, or they were problem aware. They couldn't hear, but they didn't know this even existed. So Facebook was really great. We could show this visually, and Google basically I could market to people that were searching like gaming accessories or like gaming lighting, like not really a very good search intent there that we saw, and not a lot of search volume. LinkedIn, when you accept the connection request on LinkedIn and get a sales pitch within 5 minutes, that escalated quickly. I just refer to everyone to AJ if you want to talk LinkedIn. He is a beast with LinkedIn ads. I didn't even put a thumbs up or thumbs down. It's just like, it's pretty strictly B2B, I would say, there on LinkedIn. Creative needs are lower. You can do things like text-based ads, image-based ads that don't have to be overly complex and attention-grabbing like some of these other platforms require. The cost is expensive. This doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, though. This is a really good, like, high-intent audiences that can be on LinkedIn. The targeting and size, the size of LinkedIn is smaller. It's people that are, networking, hiring, looking at a job search. It's getting more broad. More people are using it to post life updates and things like that, which is awesome as well. But the targeting to me is really powerful on LinkedIn, because Facebook and Google and things like that, you can't really target by like a job role really clearly anymore. You can't target by like a company size. You can't target by like a company name as well. So LinkedIn is still like a powerhouse for a lot of that. And attribution's pretty good there. The tracking on LinkedIn is fine. I wouldn't worry about it. I just pretty much added that to show you why TikTok wasn't the move. So use case, your product or service price or the LTV is quite high. You are B2B, that can be great on LinkedIn. It can also be great on ads like Google. If your product or service is cheaper, Google's probably your better option. And maybe you want to target by specific job role, company size, that kind of thing. LinkedIn can be great for that. And I added you're not e-com. There's things with ads with e-com that just work a lot better, showing product feeds and things like that. LinkedIn just doesn't have as many capabilities there, so you're better off spending on either Facebook or Google. All right, and there's an example, just a quick one for agencies there. Basically, if you're struggling with reporting, they're running an ad, basically sign up. Their LTV might be long. I might spend like $800 a month for 6 months, so that LTV is pretty high, so LinkedIn can work for them, and they can make it work. Going to Google now. Are you Google because you have everything I'm searching for? I did a lot of work finding these memes, guys, so I appreciate them. Anyway, Google's great overall. We'll get into the nuances of it. I'm going to clump in YouTube, like I said, because they share the same kind of platform. Creative needs overall on Google can be lower. You can pull like product feed data, which is great. It'll just pull that product image. You can do text-based, search-based ads, which are nice and easy on Google as well. YouTube's a bit higher. You need better quality stuff on YouTube, obviously. It's more visual. But YouTube still, you can get stuff working and cranking, like still run it for 6 months and like have pretty good performance on it, which is awesome. Costs on Google and YouTube can be similar-ish to Facebook, I would say. Not too bad. Targeting and size there is huge. What's really cool with Google is you can do what's called like custom intent audiences. So I can target someone that's been to a very specific website, like a competitor website, for example. I can target people that have watched certain YouTube videos. I can target people that have searched something in the last few months. So it's really good with targeting and what you can do there. An example, I have a client that sells a very specific headrest to a model of Herman Miller chairs. Facebook, I can't really just target people that own a very specific chair model, but Google, I can target people that search for that specific chair and that headrest, or were at that Herman Miller site, which is really awesome. And the beauty of Google and YouTube is a lot of people there are actively looking to shop. You're searching for whatever it might be. I heard a lot of people are searching for like a marketing conference, and they heard about Now Marketing Group's conference here. Things like that can be really great with Google advertising. And attribution is good overall, but YouTube is a bit trickier. There, again, it's sort of like TikTok. You might be there doing like a DIY project. You see an ad. You might not click on it. But usually when you're pumping, I pumped a huge test where you're doing like 2-3 million a month in spend on YouTube. We definitely saw a huge lift with our other campaigns that we were running, with things like Amazon sales. There's a lot of connections there that you might not see. And you can do tests with Google. You can do like search lift tests, and they'll kind of show you if you spend a bunch of money, typically you'll get more searches for specific keywords or for the brand name. So a use case, people are actively searching for your product or services. Think about something like plumbers near me. Boom, you can spend some money. You can show them where you're at. You can talk to that message. Boom, you can capture that. There's that demand already there. And what you're selling is fairly easy to explain overall. Again, like that audio radar product that we showed, if someone's typing gaming accessories, Google's very limited with like the amount of characters you can add in your text headline and with your description. So it gets a little harder there to visually show something with people that aren't really aware of what the product is. Great example here, we work with this company, they sell cornhole boards. Obviously, we show up in the summer when you're searching for cornhole boards. Pretty simple, just some shopping ads there. We're just like, boom, let's show up right here in that top real estate spot. We could also do cool things with YouTube. When someone searches cornhole boards, we now show them why our boards are better, why they're made in the USA, they're durable. This business owner is really funny. They're really durable. I'm like, what can we do to like amplify that? He was like, I can drive my truck on them. I'm like, okay, cool. So he made a video and he drove his truck on them, and like the very end, the board just snaps. And I was like, it still held up pretty well. So we ran it and it actually did really well. But that's how I'm always thinking about things, like how do we amplify the message? Like if these boards are sturdy, how can we amplify that and like really show them? And even showing that little flaw there, it's authentic. People are like, that's actually still, it held up the truck pretty well. So it was impressive and it's more authentic, and people are like, okay, he's honest with his business, which is really cool. So summary, I know I'm late. Sorry, guys, I'm going to hurry. TikTok, I would say, again, avoid. If you're getting stuff really cranking out on Facebook, on Google, on LinkedIn, you want to pump that up a bit more. TikTok can be good to test out. So avoid it mainly, but if you're scaling, can be a good platform. Facebook and Instagram can be great. It's very visual. If you have great befores and afters, things that you can show, pain points, benefits, all that. Someone like, I imagine like the old school infomercials where things go black and white and like the mom's in the kitchen like, oh, I can't organize this. And it's like selling an organizer. Like I think like Facebook like is that now. So just showing that problem again on Facebook can be great. LinkedIn, B2B, like that's yours. I would say too, if it's a higher price item, I think AJ said roughly $10,000 or more basically for your LTV or for that service price. So definitely have to be a bit higher there, but targeting is incredible. And Google and YouTube, I think about search intent. If people are actively looking for something and you want to show up there, that can be great. Sometimes you'll start hitting with Google. If we get to a point, demand just isn't there anymore for that search, or you're hitting all of that demand basically for cornhole boards in the summer, boom, we can only show up only so many people are searching for cornhole boards. So then we might have to push a bit more on YouTube or a bit more on Facebook or Instagram. But there's way more search volume most of the time than people think. So you're pumping up spend pretty high to get to that point. So next steps I would encourage everyone to do. Really, before you're doing ads, I think some people think ads will like save their business. I'm like, don't, like it's just going to amplify everything. So I really say like audit your business, audit your website, audit your product and service. Make sure it's really good. You're delivering on your promises. Your website's working. It's converting even organically really well. Set some goals. Think about what that cost per lead is, what that cost per purchase is that you want to get on these platforms, and set that up front so then when you start testing it, you can see if you're hitting those goals or not. Research. A really easy thing you can do is just look at what your competitors are doing. Look up your competitor names on Google, type them into Facebook. If you go to their site, click around. I love adding like competitor stuff to my cart and not buying, and then I see all their ads and what they're doing, and you can go down the rabbit hole. Another thing you can do is you can just search, again, on Google for like cornhole boards or on Facebook for cornhole boards, and you'll just start seeing all these other companies and competitors that you might not even known existed for you, so that can be really good. And think about, again, the 5 levels. Do people know about you at all? Do they know about the problem? Do you have to show that visually? Definitely something to consider there. And hypothesize and test. Think about, this is the platform I need to use and why. Actually, I'm pretty good on time. Let's go. I'm like, let's go. Usually it's like, dude, you gotta. And we had the hiccup that I did. Dude, there's a lot of buttons. This is a cool remote too. But anyway, sidetracked. Yeah, ADD, something, I don't know. Unaware, I don't know. So anyway, hypothesize and test. Think about what platform you want to go to and why and what you're looking to do there, and then test it. Does it work? Does it not work? For that audio radar company, we actually did test Google Ads. We tested and we looked at volume and whatnot. I tested it for things like gaming accessories, and now I'm competing with like Logitech and Microsoft, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like, we're not going to get the results you want here, because you have to think about that too when it does get more unaware or more solution aware, where people are looking for certain things and you're competing. If you go more and more broad like that, that's not as specific as your product, you're then competing with bigger and bigger brands as well. And lastly, analyze and iterate. So once you're running those ads, just look at them. Are they working? Are they not working? I love to look at, click-through rates, scroll stop rates, we call it on Facebook. So like, are we grabbing attention with the video? You can look at all these metrics to see, are the ads actually working the way that we want them to work? Is it a site issue on your site? You should look at your conversion rate, see if it's converting the way you want it to, and really think about, is it the ad platform? Is it the creative? Is it the site that's having an issue? And think about the metrics, basically. And we just break this down usually. So like, if we're looking at the ad, we might look at like the click-through rate to see if the ad worked really well and that messaging was really good. On the site, we might look at the conversion rate. When it comes to like our product or service offer, we might look at like the AOV or the LTV, like what's the average ticket price that people are buying. In 6 months, what does that look like? Are they coming back and buying? Are they not? Look at all these metrics and see what are the gaps in the business right now that maybe we need to pump up when we're doing this audit at the beginning before we run ads. Because I can assure you, ads usually don't help that much with this kind of stuff. Like, you have to have it dialed in. We've done tons of tests with tons of different brands and spent millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on ads, and it'll just amplify whatever you have. So if it's great, we can amplify it. It'll be great. The more you spend, usually results do go down a little bit because you're just targeting a wider and wider net of people. So think about that too. But really dial in your site, dial in your offer up front before, so you're not wasting money on ads. And test. There's so many things now organically with like TikTok, YouTube. Owen and Roger Wakefield were talking about that. Like just YouTube, like organic's just insane. That search engine's insane. And you can just show up organically. You can do a lot of these tests. And a lot of times I encourage our clients, post way more organically on TikTok, on YouTube, get things working there. And then we can just amplify what works. So we're not just wasting your money guessing on like which one of these 5 ads is going to work. It's like we've already seen this work on TikTok and blow up, or we've seen this perform really well on YouTube. Now we can just turn that into an ad and run it and just save a lot of money for people. So lastly, I'm a big fan of espresso martinis. I crossed the street in Scottsdale. I was breathing hard earlier. I don't know, Hottsdale came to mind. But I can cross the street. There's a little mall there, and I love espresso martinis. And coming back to my roots, I don't know if people knew about Napster and LimeWire. I might have dabbled in the, Chad said I have a sketchy past maybe or something. Might still do, I don't know. But I saw this ad the other day, and I was like, this is so me. Like, this is espresso martinis, like a grown man's vodka Red Bull on a hat, and LimeWire, back to my roots there of checking out music and my past with music. So a great example here. The targeting's good. The messaging's good. They showed up visually for me. I might not have known that I needed an espresso martini hat, but it should arrive home on Monday, so really excited about that one. If you want the slides, there's my dog again, Charles Barkley, and you can scan the QR code. I'm Tony Does Ads, and it's been a pleasure. Thanks, everyone.